Vinyl community, 10 years making videos. Insane. So, I started making videos 10 years ago. And first of all, before I forget it, thanks everyone who subscribed to me during these 10 years and watched my videos. Fantastic. But an even bigger thank you to everyone who has made videos that I have watched, and the people who I'm subscribing to and interacting with, because it's due to you making videos that I make videos, you know, giving something back really. So as you see in the title also, this is a video about my biggest grail, and this is the Holy Grail. The Holy Grail, the holiest of holiest grails. I can't even imagine any other record being found during my lifetime that I want more. Maybe, I don't know. I don't think so anyway. This is my true Holy Grail. I'm going to show you that a little bit later. But first I want to reminisce a little bit about these 10 years in the vinyl community. Okay, so as a collector of music, I live in a pretty small town in south of Sweden. We don't have, still don't have any record stores per se. So just thrift stores and stuff like that. And I have a lot of friends who's into music. But 10 years ago, 11, 12 years ago, there weren't anyone else in my friends that collected records. So one day I just ventured out on YouTube, and I think I just scribbled like vinyl finds or something like that. And up pops Brandon, Mr. Hall of Fame. So I see his face, he's showing a record, and I'm calling it like my record collection of vinyl finds or something like that. So I clicked it and watched the video. He just showed stuff from his collection. He had a huge amount of records, a big ass music room and stuff like that. So, and I don't know if I wrote to him and said, "Hi, I'm from Sweden," you know. But I also saw that another guy, Tony, Mr. Fartboy, also commented and interacted with Brandon, and he made videos, I think, about maybe he had shown his Neil Young collection or something like that. So I started to subscribe to him, and I interacted with him. Now there was also another guy called Dan from Canada, and a handful of other people who interacted with each other and who made videos also. So I watched this, maybe 10 and a half years ago. I watched this and I thought, in my mind, I thought like, maybe I can do this in Swedish. So maybe I can get some Swedish people doing this in Swedish. We share records and trade records with each other and stuff like that. So I made some videos in this first 6 months. The exact same thing, but in Swedish. But nothing happened really. So I ended up, I think it was when I showed my Rolling Stones collection. And this is in February 2011. So almost to the day, 10 years ago today, I made the first English video. And the rest is, as they say, history. I made videos in English after that. And the people I started to subscribe to, like Brandon and Dan, we interacted a bunch, and they watched my videos and stuff like that. So, and this was in the beginning. I mean, fun times. There were a handful of people, a lot of people, but not super many. So I won't name drop any more people because I don't want to offend anyone. But you know, if I've ever interacted with you, if I ever saw a video of yours back in the day, I mean, and today, thank you so much, and you know who you are. It was, and it is still wonderful to be a part of this wonderful community. But the community has grown, hasn't it? It's not what it started out as. It's a huge monster today. And it's ventured out from YouTube. I mean, if you punch in vinyl tag 2021 now, today, you get so many answers of that. People you never knew existed in the world with their collecting, and it's awesome. And if you go on Instagram and Facebook, there are different groups, and there's a hashtag called Vinyl Community. And I even saw a guy I didn't subscribe to. I saw his video the other day, and he was questioning why it was called Vinyl Community Love Train, VCLT, when you send a record to another person. And I thought that was so hilarious, because I remember, I think it was Brandon, but I may be mistaken. This is 10 years ago. I can't really remember what I ate for breakfast. Unless what someone said 10 years ago, but I think it was Brandon who said VCLT, or Vinyl Community Love Train, the first time. And it just made me smile, thinking that I was one of those first ones that sent packages all over the world 10 years ago. And it was just such a cool feeling that what I have done for 10 years, someone is questioning it today. And for us, back in the day, it was just like something we did to get the music out there and to just be kind to each other, really. Okay, so to get a little bit more personal, these 10 years also when making videos has been the most challenging for me personally. My daughter was born 7 years or 6.5 years ago. And just short after her birth, her mother and I split up. And it was horrible. It was very, very difficult for me going through that time with a small toddler. And then after that, 6 months after that, I met a buddy of mine from back from my childhood. One of my best friends when I was growing up to maybe 15 years old or something like that. And we own this house now together and are married. My wife is named Sophie, and she's the best person ever, on par with my daughter, obviously. Life changing to say the least, these 10 years. But without getting too sentimental, the vinyl community has been a huge part of my life for the past 10 years. I probably spend many hours every week watching videos, and they give me so much joy. So this community, without even knowing it, has been a huge part of my life. And I bet I'm not the only one out there who thinks that. Not only the music that I've been exposed to via the vinyl community, and the records that I wanted also to collect, but the people interacting, even if it's the smallest kind of great pile of records, or as in my good friend Anders' case, actually getting a real friend out of their community. It's so cool. And now with Mark and John and being in their kind of sessions, and interacting a little bit with Fred back in Australia. I mean, it's such a cool thing, isn't it? It's such a cool thing. And obviously at the end of the day, records is just records. It's material things that I'm very grateful for being able to afford to collect. I don't take it for granted, really, because I'm really happy that I have a sort of employment that gives me enough money to have this house and provide for my family along with my wife, and but also have surplus money to buy records. And it's awesome, and I can do that today. But I don't take it for granted, because tomorrow maybe I can afford to be a record collector of this sort, and that's fine. I mean, I love what I'm doing, but it's still material things. So the people in my life and the people in the vinyl community is the ones that matter, isn't it? Really, the rest of it is just material things. So with that being said, let's talk about the grails, shall we? 2012, Mick Åkerfeldt, the singer and inventor of Opeth, he had a radio show in Sweden. I think he had 2 seasons, 2011 and 12. And in the 12th season, or that season, 2012, I think there were 7 episodes, something like that. He played in public radio in Sweden. He played 1 hour of from his record collection. And I was exposed so many great artists and records. I mean, Linda Parhak's, Comus, a bunch of others, Quartermass, classic stuff. And in one episode, he dropped the needle on a record that he had. And my mind was just blown, like, shit, what is this? It's one of the most beautiful things I've ever heard in my life. And I heard it to check out the rest of the record, and I listened to that. And it was just as that song. Every single song from the record was fantastic. I mean, mind-blowing, life-changing. And I went out to see if I could score an original. And I soon noticed that it's a very collectible record. Maybe one of the most collectible. And this was back in 2012. So getting an original was out of the question. So I got the reissue and I played it to death. And I still play it very often. And I listen to it online. It's been a huge part of my life and I love it. It's my favorite record of all times. Yeah. Along with 10 other. But yeah. So time passed. And once in a while I checked in to see if it had gone down in price. But on the contrary, it just went up and up and up. And 10 years, or 8 years now, afterwards, it's doubled in price since I first started looking at it. So again, getting an original out of the question. But I've always considered it as my holy grail. Okay, so now we come to October of 2020. So 4 months ago, maybe 3 months ago. I went out on Discogs and watched my want list as usual, and I see that this record has popped up for what it's worth. And I see it's a VG Plus record. There were a link. The guy who was selling it, an older guy from Russia, had made a video where he played the record. You could check out and listen a little bit on the grading and stuff like that. A VG Plus condition on both the vinyl and the cover. So it was just cool seeing it in a video. Like really seeing it, the original thing in a video was awesome. So the day after that, something just hit me, because I don't have the money to buy it. But something hit me like, you should send a message to him and ask him if he wants to trade it. Because this guy had 5,000 records for sale. And all of them were very sought after and expensive records. So this guy is a seller, obviously. So I sent him the email. And he sent back like, no, I can't. I want cash money for this and I won't trade it. But send me some links of what you have. So I compiled a list of Discogs links to 40 of my rarest records. 40. And this, I only took records that I knew I could get back. One day I could get back. So I focused a lot on Swedish jazz. And I only took stuff that I knew that I won't miss too much. Because this is the first links that I'm sending to him. I'm not taking the cream of the crap. I'm taking just a little bit of the cream. So 40 links. 2 days later, he sent me 18 links back and said, if you send me these records, you have a deal. And my mind was blown. Like, I've never been so close to this record before. I realized that if I take 18 of these records and send to him, the record is mine. Insane. But I don't know this guy. So I contacted some really nice and highly regarded collectors here of psych music in Sweden, asking them if they knew him, and they did, from the Utrecht record fair, and someone had sold records to him but not bought them and stuff like that. So, but I can't send 18 records just to Russia. So I said to him, like, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I've never done this before, but I can't do this if you don't send your record to me first so I can check it out. So I understand if you don't want to do the deal. And he just sent back to me like, sure, I'll do it. I'll send it express. I deal with high-priced records all the time. This is day to day for me, so I'll send it. Give me your address. And I did. And 1 week later, a guy was standing here, and I signed for the record, and I had it. It was in my house. And I didn't consider myself an owner of the record. I took pictures of it. I sent to a guy I know who has a copy. He confirmed that it was the real deal. I played it 2 times, all the way through, to see if the condition was right, and it was. So I just put it in the shelf, like on a secure place. And it's been standing there. So now I have the record in my house, but I'm not the owner because he still needs 18 records from me. And he has to say that it's an okay deal. And you know the deal. So I packed it up nicely, sent it away. A month later, no package. And I had a tracking number and everything. And it's just like hold up in the Russian customs or something like that. But he's not sweating or something like that. But I'm going nuts because I really want to consider the record mine. And whilst the package is not at his house and he hasn't said everything is fine, I didn't consider it as mine. So I think 2 weeks ago, I got the message and he said he got the package, he looked at the records, everything is fine, thank you for the deal. And the record was mine. So here we are. Like, I've scored my biggest want, the Holy Grail. And I bet you want to see it now. Some of you that know me and have seen my videos for 10 years can probably guess already what the record is. And if you don't know the record, check it out. But I'm the proud owner, one of the few in the world, I think, that has a very, very nice copy of Will Malone's self-titled record on Fontana from 1970. Insane. Like, and just to think that it took me 8 years to secure a copy, that's not too long. Really, like 8 years. Shit, to get this. And I don't know how many copies there are out in the world, but not many. And definitely not in this condition. It's in, the spine is totally intact. There's no real damage or anything to the cover, and the vinyl plays very good. It's a VG Plus record. It has some pops, but it's just sometimes during the more quiet parts and stuff like that. So nothing that gets in the way of the music and the experience of playing an original copy. And if you know the record, if you are a psych and prog collector, you probably know what that costs. And yeah, will I regret the 18 records I sent him for this record? No way in hell. Like, I've thought about it. I really thought about it this past time since I sent them. And sure thing, there are 2 records there in that pile that I know I'm going to get within maybe this year, that I have to pay a lot of money to get back. But the rest of them is just like, fun thing. Like, I had them, I played them, maybe I'll get them one day, but I sent them to Russia. And none of them is compared to the Will Malone record. Like, not even close. Because I know that I can throw money at either one of those records that I sold or traded with him, and I can get it back. But this, I don't have the money to throw on this. I have to trade it. And just being able to do that is insane. Like, really insane. So in a way, I feel that I've gone full circle. Like, I started out with doing records, and I got exposed to new music and new records and a way to collect. And I discovered this one, and this was from the start my holy grail, like unattainable, like really unattainable record. And now, 10 years later, I have it in my collection. And where to go now? Like, do I stop collecting? No, obviously not. I have 1,300 or 1,299 records left in my want list. So there's still stuff to do. But I don't think I'll ever look at a record in this house and say, yeah, that's a cooler record than the Will Malone record. I don't think that I'll ever be able to do that. So yeah, that's my video. Long ass video. But you only celebrate your 10th anniversary once, don't you? So here for the next 10 years, and thank you again so much everyone who has watched, commented during these years, and even more a big thank you to everyone who's doing the videos that I watch and love. Without you, I wouldn't do this, because as I said in the beginning, the main reason, except for getting attention. We're all human beings, aren't we? And if you face the camera in your face, you want attention. But other than that, I'm doing this because I want to give back. I watch videos, someone made the effort to put a video out, and I feel obligated to do a video back. That's been the main reason all this time. Getting the ball rolling. Like, I don't want to lose this, so I'm contributing. That's me. So, have a great day, everyone. Bye.